I could be the main secret weapon of the Pentagon, but I hate war. But that's the way our world works. Governments have a way of turning peaceful inventions into weapons. I was the one who invented the ability to control ships and airplanes by radio frequency. I introduced the first radio-controlled ship in 1898 during the New York Electrical Exhibition. Once I had perfected this technology, I brought about the era of larger, more practical toys. My research and experiments made it possible to control a warship remotely from the shore at a distance of 25 nautical miles. You see, it's really quite simple. Continuous control is possible via an automatically received signal of disparity between the desired and present location of the ship you're controlling, so you can make any object move to wherever you want. Naturally, the military immediately seized on the opportunity to control warships using radio waves. Since that time, the Pentagon has kept their eye on me. It is impossible to refuse them. At their request, I invented a radar locator to detect enemy submarines. Originally, I designed this instrument to search for minerals. I had other great ideas they could use. I was able to generate powerful electromagnetic fields that bend light and radio waves around any object, making the object completely invisible. This project was called Rainbow, but I doubt whether you have ever heard of it. The military can keep its secrets. I hate the military. They enjoy spilling blood too much. I'd really like to do something for ordinary people. But regrettably, they're not ready for my inventions. They're blind and stupid. Once I decided to prove to the general public that energy is present in the air, so I designed and assembled an 80-horsepower alternating current electric motor. Then I installed it in a new car, replacing the gasoline engine as its power source. My electric motor functioned flawlessly for an entire week without an additional power source. It also accelerated the car up to a speed of 150 kilometers per hour. But to my great surprise, none of the entrepreneurs or the public were interested in my invention. It was astounding. Was there really no one who would be interested in something that cannot be sold? Because people would never have to pay for energy from the air. At that time, a couple of newspapers published articles accusing me of having connections with the evil spirit. This deeply offended me. I took my motor and never again showed it to anyone. When I lie quiet in bed at ease, then let my time be done. If you fool me with flatteries, till my own self's a joy to me. If you snare me with luxury, let that be the last day I see.
Goethe.
Right. The scene where Faust sells his soul to Mephistopheles.
So you have no connections to dark forces?
I often find myself quoting Faust. He thinks as I do. We are both ready to give everything we have for nature's secrets. Because of this, when I am reading Faust, it helps me to think. My greatest inventions were born while I was engrossed in poetry. In 1915, the Nobel Committee even wanted to give me the Nobel Prize in Physics, but I refused it. The reason? They wanted me to share it with Edison. I must admit, to his credit, Edison did the same. However, I couldn't refuse the gold medal of Edison given to me by the Institute of Engineers and Electrical Technicians. But the very sound of the name Edison annoyed me. So I cut the medal in half and used the gold to pay 2 of my secretaries for their work.
Can I take the dishes and clean the room now?
Take the dishes away, and leave us immediately. I can't stand earrings. Especially pearls.
Those earrings have fake pearls.
Good for her. The only way I could enjoy talking to such women would be by radio. As if they were aliens.
But aliens don't exist. If they did, I'd give anything to be the one to interview them.
They do exist. I have talked to them. In the first quarter of this century, everybody went mad because of the popularity of a new medium, radio. People with money to invest didn't want to talk about anything except that damned radio. I thought the idea of radio was old news and did not want to take part in any of their revelry. But in 1926, the heirs of Colonel Astor asked me to rework the radio transmitter to improve the quality of radio communications. I agreed, only for the sake of my old friend. While testing my equipment, I suddenly caught mysterious signals that were generated by some kind of technology. According to my calculations, they were sent from Mars, with a probability of 94%. But it happened only once. Perhaps it was because Mars was closer to the Earth than it had been in several thousand years. The signals stopped, and I could never prove that I had really caught the radio signals from Mars. But my contact with Mars had become the talk of the town. H.G. Wells mentioned my experience in his novel, The First Men on the Moon. There is definitely someone out there. Someone who wants to meet us just as we want to meet them. I believe someday we will meet them, creatures that can overcome the stellar abyss. We could learn so much from them. Unless, of course, they rip our guts out first. All of us are predators in this universe. You, me, the cat.
Is that cat yours?
Cats don't belong to anyone. That's why I love them. They produce electricity out of thin air, like I do. And like myself, cats have a free spirit. Here's a storm.
So aren't you afraid?
Me afraid of the storm? Once when I was a child, there was a terrible electrical storm. A tree next to me was struck by lightning. I felt as if the electricity was passing through me, but I didn't feel that it was hurting me. That's why I feel like I'm part of the storm when it arrives. I don't need a generator to produce power. I understand the greatest mysteries of existence. I can control the energy of the universe. I possess that kind of power. Well, now I'm sure the hotel staff will come. And the bill will come to about $200.
Excuse me, sir. Can you explain this mess you created?
I'll pay for it. Clean it up later. Now get out. Luckily, poverty